रीड नेपालद्वारा तानसेन नगरपालिका पाल्पाको समन्वयमा तथा देववाणी संस्कृत तथा साधारण मावि, जनप्रिय मावि र लुम्बिनी मावि पाल्पाको सहकार्यमा उत्पादित यो कार्यक्रम ग्रिन तारा नेपाल, फेडो नेपाल र रीड नेपालबाट संयुक्त रूपमा सञ्चालित स्ट्रङ गर्ल्स प्रोजेक्टको एक अंश हो। यसमा करुणा जर्मनी तथा जर्मन सरकार बीएमजेडको आर्थिक सहयोग रहेको छ। कोभिड-19 को कारणबाट घरमै रहेका बालबालिकाहरूको पठन पाठनमा सहजता ल्याउने उद्देश्यले यो हेर्दै सिक्दै कार्यक्रम तयार गरिएको हो।
Namaste, my dear students. Today I am going to teach page number 12, 13, 14 and 15 from English Reader class 6. Look at the picture. This is a knee-high man. He is very short, so he is very sad. He likes to be tall. Here, the knee-high man asks the horse how to be tall. In this picture, the boy asks the bull how to be tall. In this picture, the boy asks the owl how to be tall. But here, the owl advises him that he should not be tall because he need not be tall. Okay. The knee-high man. Once upon a time, there was a knee-high man. He was no taller than a person's knees. Because he was so short, he was very unhappy. He wanted to be big like everyone else. The knee-high man was very sad because he was very short. He wanted to be tall like everyone. Now, on the basis of this paragraph, write true or false against each statement below. The knee-high man was unhappy because he wanted to be tall. True or false? Okay, perhaps your answer is true. The knee-high man was unhappy. Unhappy means sad because he wanted to be tall. It is true. Next, why was the knee-high man unhappy? The knee-high man was unhappy because he was too short, but he wanted to be big like everyone else. Now, look at the picture. The boy asks the horse how to be tall. One day, he decided to ask the biggest animal he could find how he could get big. Get means be or become. One day, the boy was very sad and he wanted to ask the way how to be big. So, he went to see Mr. Horse. Mr. Horse, how can I get big like you? The boy saw that the horse was big. He also wanted to be big like the horse. So he asked the way how to be big. Mr. Horse said, well, eat a whole lot of corn, then run around a lot. After a while, you will be as big as me. The horse advised the boys to eat a whole lot of corn like him. The horse thinks that he is big because he eats a whole lot of corn. That's why he advises the boy to eat a whole lot of corn and run around a lot. And the horse thinks that the boy can be big as him by eating a lot of corn and running around a lot. The knee-high man did just that. He ate so much corn that his stomach hurt. Then he ran and ran and ran until his legs hurt. But he did not get any bigger. So he decided that Mr. Horse told him something wrong. He decided to go and ask Mr. Bull. Here, the knee-high man did what the horse advised. Even after doing the activities suggested by the horse, he could not be big. So he thought the horse was wrong. So he wanted to take advice from Mr. Bull. In his opinion, Mr. Bull can be right and Mr. Horse is wrong. Okay, on the basis of this reading, write true or false against the statement below. The horse advises the knee-high man to bellow and bellow. Bellow means making sound like that of a bull. True or false? The horse advises the knee-high man to bellow and bellow. It is false. It is not the advice given by the horse. And next question. What advice does Mr. Horse give to the knee-high man to get bigger? Answer. Mr. Horse advises the knee-high man to eat a whole lot of corn and then run around a lot to get bigger. The knee-high man could not be tall. He could not be big. So he thought the horse was wrong. So he went to the bull to ask the way to be big and tall. Mr. Bull, how can I get big like you? Mr. Bull said, eat a whole lot of grass. Then bellow. Bellow means making sound like that of a bull. And bellow as loud as you can. The first thing you know, you will be as big as me. When the boy went to Mr. Bull, Mr. Bull advised him to eat a lot of grass. After eating grass, he advised to bellow and bellow as loud as he can. In this way, he can be big. This was the suggestion made by the bull, Mr. Bull. So the knee-high man ate whole field of grass because he wanted to be big. Then bellowed all day and all night. He went on bellowing. He made the sound like that of Mr. Bull. That made his throat hot, but he did not get any bigger. Get means become. So he decided that Mr. Bull was all wrong too. He wanted to be big, so he went to take advice from Mr. Bull. Mr. Bull advised him to eat a lot of grass and wallow. He did the same. Even after doing the same, he could not be big. So he thought the bull, Mr. Bull, was wrong. That's why he did not like to continue the suggestion made by the Mr. Bull. Okay. Write true or false against the statement below. The bull advises the knee-high man to eat a lot of grass. It is true. Now look at the picture. Here the boy is talking to the owl. In Nepali culture, owl is the symbol of dull person. But in Western culture, owl is the symbol of clever person. In Nepali culture, if someone is not clever, we say you are ullu. But in English culture, if someone is very clever, they say you are owl. So here, owl is the symbol of intelligence here. It means this story is following the culture of Western, not Nepali culture. In Nepali culture, it is the symbol of dull person, but it is the symbol of clever people in Western culture. Here, the boy is asking the owl. Here, the owl is giving suggestions to Mr. Knee-high. Now, he didn't know anyone else to ask. The boy at first asked with the horse. He followed the suggestion given by the horse. He could not be big. And then he went to Mr. Bull. He followed the suggestion given by Mr. Bull. Even after following the suggestion of Mr. Bull, he could not be big. So he was in dilemma whom to ask and whom not to ask. One night he heard Mr. Hoot Owl hooting. Hooting means making the sound of owl. When the owl makes a sound, that is hooting. Mr. Hoot Owl hooting. And he remembered means recalled, that Mr. Owl knew everything. In Western culture, owl is the symbol of intelligence. The boy remembered this fact, so he wanted to ask the way of becoming big. One day, he heard the sound made by Mr. Hoot Owl, and he thought Mr. Owl knew everything, because in Western culture, Mr. Owl is the symbol of an intelligent person. Mr. Owl, how can I get like Mr. Horse and Mr. Bull? The boy had seen that Mr. Horse and Mr. Bull were big. So the boy wanted to be big like Mr. Horse and Mr. Bull. So he asked for advice with Mr. Owl. What do you want to be big for? Mr. Hoot Owl asked. Mr. Hoot Owl was very clever. So he asked the purpose of being big. So he asked, what do you want to be big for? I want to be big so that means in order that when I get into a fight is a phrase. It means it starts a fight. I can whip everyone. Whip means beat everyone, the knee-high man said. Mr. Knee-high man wanted to be big. So he went to Mr. Hoot Owl. When he asked for advice, Mr. Hoot Owl asked the purpose of trying to be big. The knee-high man says that he likes to be tall. If he starts a fight, he can beat everyone else if he is big. That is the purpose of Mr. Knee-high man. Mr. Hoot Owl hooted. When the knee-high man answered, Mr. Hoot Owl hooted because he was surprised. He was amazed. Anybody ever tried to pick a fight with you? Pick a fight means start a fight. Mr. Hoot Owl asked, if anybody started a fight with him. This is the question based on the current paragraph. You have to answer. Now think well. Perhaps your answer is similar to mine. Why was the knee-high man want to be big? The knee-high man wanted to be big so that when he got into a fight, he could whip everybody. The knee-high man thought for a while. Well, now that you mention it, nobody ever did try to start a fight with me. Mr. Hoot Owl asked if anybody started a fight against him. The knee-high man thought for a while, and he said nobody started a fight with him. Mr. Hoot Owl, well, you don't have any reason to fight. Therefore, you don't have any reason to be bigger than you are. The boy said that nobody attacked him. Mr. Hoot Owl said that he didn't need to be bigger because nobody attacked him. If someone had attacked him, he would have to be bigger. But nobody attacked him, so he doesn't need tall height because nobody has attacked him. But Mr. All, the knee-high man, said, I want to be big so that I can see far in the distance. And Mr. All said that he needn't be bigger because nobody has attacked him. And the knee-high man says that he likes to see far in the distance. If he can be higher than he is now, he can see far in the distance. Mr. Hoot-owl hooted, if you climb a tall tree, you can see into the distance from the top. And Mr. Hoot-owl advised the boy to climb a tall tree if he likes to see far distance. The knee-high man was quiet. Quiet means silent for a moment. Well, I haven't thought about that. And the knee-high man says that he can solve his problem by climbing on a tall tree, but he hadn't thought about that, so he became silent for a while. Mr. Hoot-owl hooted again. And that's what's wrong. Mr. Knee-high man, you hadn't done any thinking at all. And he said that, Mr. Hoot-owl said that the knee-high man had not thought anything. I am smaller than you. And the owl said that the owl is smaller than the boy. And you don't see me worrying about being big. The owl is not big, but it is not worried about its height. Mr. Knee-high man, you wanted something that you didn't need. What is the moral lesson? In this world, many people are sad because they desire what they don't need. We should desire what we need. We shouldn't desire what we shouldn't need. Here, the boy desired what he didn't need, so he became sad. Like Gautam Buddha, what is the cause of sadness? Desire. Our desire. Our desire gives us more trouble. Even here, the boy is sad because of his desire. Now, write true or false against the statement below. The owl wanted to know why the knee-high man was unhappy. True or false? The knee-high man has a good reason to want to be big. True or false? The owl tells the knee-high man to be content. Content means happy with what he is. Now answers. The owl wanted to know why the knee-high man was unhappy. It is true. The knee-high man has a good reason to want to be big. It is false. The owl tells the knee-high man to be content with what he is. It is true. Now, answer the following question. According to Mr. Woodall, why did the knee-high man not need to worry about his height? Its answer is, according to Mr. Woodall, the knee-high man do not need to worry about his height because he had no reason to be taller than he is. How could the knee-high man see far in the distance? What does the Mr. Old think is wrong with the knee-high man? Now possible answers. The knee-high man could see far in the distance by climbing on the top of a tall tree. Number C. Mr. Old thinks not being any thinking at all is wrong with the knee-high man. Think and answer. What do you think is the lesson of this story? Do you think animals can think and talk? Okay. I think the lesson of this story is that we should be happy with what we have and we should not desire what we need not. Number C. I think animals can think but they can't speak a human language. However, they can send some limited messages. Okay, this much for today. Thank you.